back with a NERC update. We haven't done one of these in a while. It's been a long summer, but I wanted to get one done before the Weeknight playoffs start. We will be doing a Weeknight preview as well for the Sunday Hockey League, so not forgetting about you guys. We're going to be doing a Weeknight one here. We're going to be reviewing actually both rounds. We're going to be doing kind of the first round, which is next week, and then the second and third rounds, which is going to be your semifinals and finals the following week. Quick update on the floor. Floor has been delivered. It was delivered 2 weeks ago, as most of you guys saw on Instagram, Facebook. Put the text message up. Floor has been delivered. So we're actually going to be having the installation date over the next 2 weeks. So that is set. We're ready to go. Once you guys skate on this floor, you're going to completely forget about the old floor. So just bear with us for 2 more weeks of this ice court floor. You're going to be moving to a still mat floor. Played on it last week at State Wars. Forgot how amazing it actually is. The puck flies on it. You're not going to be dealing with the bouncing. You're not going to be dealing with the puck skipping and rolling and all this kind of crap that we're dealing with now, where you feel like you're playing with a ping pong ball out there. All of that's going to be eliminated on the still mat floor. Now, still mat does make their own puck that goes with the floor. We will make a decision if that's the puck that we will use throughout all of our divisions. Right now, we're just using it in our draft. I know a lot of the gold guys want to use it as well. We will make that decision. I think I'm going to give people kind of the option the first couple weeks and say, hey, listen, here's a still mat puck. If you want to try it out and use it for a game, perfect. If you want to continue with the IDS, perfect. We'll go to both captains and kind of see how it goes. The IDS puck will work perfectly fine on this floor as well. It is a little lighter, and I think some of the guys in maybe the lower leagues might like that because, one, a lot of guys aren't having the top-level skates, so it's not going to hurt if you get hit with it or anything like that. And as far as equipment goes, if you're not using the higher-level equipment, it's going to be a little, less, pain when you get hit with it. So we might stick with the IDS puck. We have a really good relationship with IDS as well. So we may stick with that IDS puck moving forward, but we'll kind of just throw it out there, see what everyone wants to do. But I wanted to get that out there and make sure everyone knows that the floor is here. It is actually getting delivered. Unfortunately, we wanted it for this summer, but how it worked out with the shipping, it came from Czech Republic. It took longer than expected as far as like customs and things like that go, but we have the floor here. It's sitting in the back of NERC. I'm actually going to be seeing it tomorrow. So you guys are going to get a first look on Thursday, August 1st, of the new still mat floor. So let's go down and break down all the playoff matchups. Now, in our Draft and Gold League, playoffs are not set yet. Draft League still has 2 regular season games left. We always have done playoffs on one night. It's a good vibe. It keeps everyone around the rink and watching those games. So that hasn't been set yet. So we'll do kind of a separate draft preview once we actually have the playoff set. In our Gold Division, all but set. The only thing that's up in the air is the first and second seed, which is going to be a matchup that takes place tomorrow night between Advocate Athlete and Kraken. Those two teams have faced off against each other already. Advocate had the better half of them. Now, if Kraken wins this game, head-to-head is going to be out the window. It's going to come down to goal differential. So depending on the score of the game, Kraken could jump Advocate and take that first seed. Our third seed is the Dirty Dogs, and our fourth seed are the Hawks. So, again, there's no easy game in the Gold Division. Every playoff game is going to be hard. I've seen our Hawks team start as a fourth seed with basically one win and go through and win playoffs and win the championship. I've seen teams as a first seed win every game of the season and then lose only their championship. So Gold Division is so hard to predict. It's such a good division. Just had a conversation with Sean Cohen. We talked about even changing this to a Platinum Division next year once we get back to 6 teams. So that is something we may do, kind of change up just the names, doing a platinum, moving silver up to gold, bronze A up to silver, and kind of just rearranging the names and to make it a little easier where you don't feel like you have a bronze A and bronze B and people kind of crossing over as far as playing in those divisions. So it's something we're looking at for the fall season here. In our silver division, those playoffs are set. There's still one game to be played, but no movement is going to happen with the point system. In first place, Advocate Silver is going to be facing off against District 5. And in second place, the Degenerates, DHC, is going to be facing off against the Renegades. So those two teams played each other last year in playoffs. Went to a best of 3. We're not doing a best of 3 this year just because we do need to get the floor installed. But DHC is going to be facing off against the Renegades again. And Advocate Silver is going to be facing off against D5. We've played them twice now, and both games basically came down to the wire. One went to overtime as well. So in that silver division, again, it's another tough division because it's only 4 teams. It could really go any way. I expect those games to be absolutely completely close and completely tight, and It's a very, very well-balanced league. In the Bronze A division, it's our only division that we will have buys in. Because there's a 6-team division, 2 teams need to get a bye in order to keep the numbers even moving into playoffs. So how it's going to work is Burnsy Electric is going to take the first seed. They're going to be awaiting the lowest seed remaining, so they'll play the lowest seed left out of the bottom 4 teams, and the Kings will play the highest remaining seed. Those 2 teams are going to be playing next Thursday at 7 and 9:30. So they're going to be awaiting the first game on Monday night, which is going to be Trump's legal team facing off against Cafe Carmela. And then you're going to have the 4-5 seed as Sharpshooters versus Carmen's Place. That's going to take place on Wednesday at 7. So you're going to have 2 games next week if you're in that bottom 4 of the Bronze A, and you're going to have to play your semifinal that week as well. So this way, when you get to your final game, you're not playing 2 games in 1 week for the Bronze A division. Now, Bronze B is going to be the opposite, just due to the rink time that we have available, where you're going to have Bronze B, a full 8-team bracket here. So you're going to have your first seed facing off against your 8th, which is going to be John versus Threat Level Midnight. You're going to have your 2nd seed, the Nighthawks, facing off against the Bullies. You're going to have your 3rd seed, the Hive, facing off against Rocco's Murder and Snipe, which is the 6th seed. And then you're going to have the Mad Alphers facing off against Turtle Powers, the 5th seed. Bronze B, in my opinion, is the hardest division to win in this summer. Because it's the biggest division, there's a lot of teams in there that probably should be up a notch as to where they are. I've seen Turtle Power dominate this division for years, and they're sitting as a 5th seed this year. I've seen Mad Alphers, people saying these guys need to be a silver team, they need to be a Bronze A team, but they've never won Bronze B. So there's a lot of factors that go into this Bronze B, and I think this summer it's going to be the hardest championship to win. So as far as predictions go, I'm going to put up a post actually about all the predictions for the entire, just champions. I'm not going to go through each round, but I will post my predicted champions. In our Copper division, because our Copper division was made up of Copper A teams and Copper B teams, we're actually going to be splitting this division right down the middle. So you're going to have your top 4 teams and then your bottom 4. So you're going to have your Copper A, which is going to consist of Broforce, Wolf Pups, 2 Utes, and Flying Hellfish. And then your Copper B, which is going to be Turbulence, Bees, No Names, and 43 Oak. So in your Copper A, Broforce will be facing off against Flying Hellfish. You're going to have the Wolf Pups taking on the 2 Utes. And then in your B, you're going to have Turbulence versus 43 Oak. And then you're going to have the Bees versus the No Names. So again, it's going to be another tight race there because of how the division is split, because you're really playing within your kind of wins and losses range. If you look at it, all the teams from 5th to 8th have 2 wins or 1 win, and then 43 Oak has 0 wins. They are a draft team that we put together for the summer, a bunch of free agents that came together, and they kind of made up that 43 Oak team. So it's, usually takes about a season, but I know they want to continue with this team and get back to the fall season, maybe add a couple pieces and hopefully, be able to get themselves a few more wins in the regular season. And then in the top half, every team has 4 to 6 wins. So it does make sense to split it right down the middle this year. It's just how it worked out. Sometimes I'll even do, if there was, teams 6 through 1 were all within 3 and 4 wins, then I would have stuck with maybe a 6 and just gave the bottom 2 teams their own kind of championship. But because of how it worked out this year, it is a perfectly even split where we're splitting it down the middle of your 1 through 4, 5 through 8. So that's it. Really quick update here for the Weeknight Hockey League. Now we're going to move into we'll just touch on the Sunday league just because we are in the last week of the season. We have, like I said, it's been a while since we've done anything as far as an update goes for the Sunday league, but how we broke down the Sunday league this year, and I really like it, is that we had a silver division, which starts our day, and then we had a huge bronze division, which basically meant that you could play anywhere from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now, a lot of the teams who are in that bronze league aren't accustomed to playing those early games. My ultimate goal would be to keep it this way, where we can have the bronze division just be a big open division, or maybe I can split it before the season based off registration for Bronze A and Bronze B, but you can play at any time in the afternoon or at night. If I can convince the teams to do that, I think it's the best way to do the bronze leagues moving forward, because there are higher skilled bronze teams like Thundercats, 2 Utes, the Hippos. These teams, I would love to have some more competitive games and not have as many blowouts by playing some of these higher end teams. And then you have your other teams like the Stranglers, Little Beauties, Lazy Eights. They could be in their own kind of little own bracket as well with some of the teams that have taken off for the summer. You have teams like the Bullies, the Pylons. They're not, all of them are not playing this summer. So Sunday wound up being a 10-team bronze division, which we will split top 5, bottom 5. And again, looking at it, and this is always a little more difficult when you have a 10-team division, but looking at it, your top 5 teams all with 3 wins, your bottom 5 teams all with 2 or less. So it is, again, the perfect way to kind of split down this division. The gang has a forfeit in there, which means the Stranglers get an extra win, which is going to really put them up a notch as well. So it's going to be very interesting. That bottom, what we'll call it as a Bronze B division on Sundays, is going to be awesome for the playoffs, and the Bronze A, obviously. Silver division, always a battle. You have DHC. I mean, looking at it, DHC with 0 wins this season, right? But they have been in every game. They had a couple games where they didn't play so well, and their differential is not that great. But if you look at it, they have the most goals against in the league, but as far as goals for goes, they're only within 5 goals for. So you could tell that's a good indication of the really tight games. And even their goals against, they're only 6 off from the Stickheads. They're only 9 off from the Hounds, who are in second place. And now you have the Creek Monsters kind of sitting at the top with a little bit of a stacked team. They are 5-0, but again, they've had some really tight games as well. So Silver Division is going to be a battle on Sundays. I know that those games get heated. The Silver Division used to be sick on Sundays. It was actually a gold. We had teams like Kraken. We had teams like the Trashers. We had the Pigeons. All those teams on Sunday were kind of getting back to that finally, being able to put that Silver League back in. I would love to be able to get this to 6 teams in the future. I know a bunch of teams. It sounds like we're going to have a bunch of new teams. I know we have a couple teams coming down from 309, a couple older teams coming back, so a couple new teams starting as well. So it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic of that Sunday division moving forward. And like I said, my ultimate thing would be being able to get that bronze division as a big, like, hey, you can play from 3 to 9 o'clock at night based off of, just who you're playing against. There's going to be some teams who like later, some teams that like earlier. Those teams are going to have to make some adjustments to play an earlier game or a later game. So we'll see if we can get rid of the bronze early and bronze late and kind of just keep it to a big bronze division and keep silver in the front half and kind of keep the bronze as an all-day thing moving forward in the fall. So that's it for this weekly update. Again, we will do a silver breakdown for playoffs after this week, since everyone's on their 6th game this week. And then we will also be doing a breakdown for the last week of playoffs, probably sometime next Friday after the conclusion of the first rounds of our Weeknight playoff league. And then lastly, look out for the draft preview, because that's going to be an in-depth one. It's only a 14 division. It is our highest division at NERC. So I really want to get into the matchups, the players, the leaders, everything like that. So thanks for tuning in if you made it this far, and we'll see you on the rink.